It's not top tier. This team's like middle of the road. And then with good decision making and proper prior planning, it's alright. It does alright. But it's not... With Klefki missing Air Balloon, it gets a little rough. And then we'll check through the rest of the team. Because I'll go through the team with you guys. I've got Diggersby. Diggersby is an awesome Pokemon. I've got him huge power. That makes his attack stat at 236, which is pretty good for level 50. Adamant Nature, and then I gave him the Lumberry so that he can avoid confuse damage and so that he can avoid burn damage. Burn damage is one of the biggest threats to Diggersby. With our Scizor... Oh, he doesn't have an item. Oh, right, because I was breeding with him. That's a problem. He needs his Rocky Helmet back. It's not going to be a huge detriment, but I prefer to run Bulky Scizor. This is a max speed, max attack Scizor. It also lacks the defense IV, which is a little weird, but I'm not the one that bred it. Got this one as a gift, so I appreciate it. We've got a Life Orb, Timid Gengar. Timid Gengars are the faster ways to go, and with that special attack at 182, it's not a joke. And that speed at 178 outspeeds most things in the game. Talonflame are a little bit faster because their base speed of 122. Most people are running an Adamant Talonflame with a 220 or 252 in attack and 252 in speed. Even with that 252 in attack and speed, a Flare Blitz is not going to take out Mega Venusaur. We've got a Bold Nature. It's a mixed defender. So you can see that his defense at 137 and his special defense at 143. They are not as high as they could be because he's a mixed defender. But his HP at 182, also not as high as it could be. Split him up pretty well. But with that Bold Nature does give him that resistance to Brave Bird. The only way to take out this Mega Venusaur with a Brave Bird is if you've got a Choice Band. Otherwise he survives with like 20% HP. This Klefki is not a normal Klefki. Most people are running dual screen Klefki out there. I really don't like the dual screen Klefkis. I think it's just a bit of an abuse of what Klefki's capable of. Because it's got access to Swagger, T-Wave, and Foul Play. I think that those are the best three in combo. But people are going to disagree with me all they want. I mean, with Spikes, yes, it's a good way to go. Because Spikes are awesome. Entry hazards are always awesome as long as you've got a way to force your opponent in and out. If your opponent isn't going to switch that much, and they've just got a bunch of bulky defenders, then switching isn't really that necessary. So you need to have a way to force your opponent to switch. I don't have a whole lot of ways to force switches. So I run a really annoying hassle Klefki. So with Swagger and Play Rough, they play really well together. Because Play Rough plays off your opponent's attack stat. So the higher your attack stat is, the better my play, or not Play Rough, Foul Play. The better my Foul Play is going to do. Dumb. Foul Play, Swagger, combo. And then T-Wave, Swagger, already a pretty good combo. Swagger increases your attack so it does more damage to you when you hit yourself in the face. T-Wave makes it less likely that they're going to be able to attack you. Awesome. Azumarill is usually just my deal with Talonflame go-to. It scares out a lot of Talonflame because it's got a lot of HP. It's got a paltry defense. It's okay. This one is missing the defense IV. Again, it was a gift, so no complaints. So with that defense IV, I might be able to have that defense pretty well even with the special defense, but this is max attack, max HP. And its attack stat is actually pretty well up there and comparable to Diggersby. 112 instead of the 118, but again, that's going to be 224 in battle just because the huge power doubles that attack stat. With Azumarill, the reason that I don't have... I've got leftovers on it because it's got the HP bulk that Diggersby lacks a little bit, because it's, you know, a 20-point difference there. So I go with leftovers on Azumarill because it lacks a few of the type weaknesses that Diggersby's got. Diggersby Has the same grass that Azumarill does, has ice on top of it, has fighting on top of it. It does resist the electricity, but Azumarill usually deals with electricity pretty well. Most of the electric moves that you're running into are Volt Switch or Thunderbolt. You're not running into a whole lot of Thunder. There's a few wild charges out there, but it's not as big a deal. So I run Leftovers. I do have Belly Drum on it, but Belly Drum is not as useful in in OU as it might be. I don't run Superpower, though, to deal with Dual Screen Klefki. I'd rather have Brick Break to deal with Dual Screen Klefki. It's a personal choice. This should be a bulky Scissor. His attack at 238. You can see that I've got a lot of attack in this team. I don't have a whole lot of special attack. This is where my team really starts to fall through, is the fact that I've got 3 really good physical attackers. None of them are crazy fast. You can see that I would call Gengar crazy fast. 178 speed, timid nature makes him really good. He's pretty fast. Scissor has 123, so he's not going to outspeed a whole lot, but he's got priority. So he's got that Bullet Punch. He's got a huge attack stat, but the fact that he's got his maxed out speed EVs, it doesn't make him as versatile. Really, even having Scissor down to like 100 base speed, he's going to be fast enough. And then you can spend the rest of it on like HP and special defense or defense. Probably defense, since I'm going to give him Rocky Helmet. And that's just how that goes. And I think that's a pretty good explanation of the team. But again, lacking the special attackers. Yeah, I've got a really heavy hitter in the way of Gengar and a sort of paltry hitter with Venusaur, but Venusaur's a wall. That's the way that he's set up. He's supposed to wall out a little bit, but even so, he doesn't wall out as well as he could, because I've made him a mixed attacker, so he's more of like a bulky Force of Switch Pokemon. Yeah, Aqua Jet doesn't do anything in the sun, so it struggles quite a bit against Ninetales. And we've had a few issues with Ninetales.